Chapter 2. Read about one chapter or so of this book each day. This is to establish sustained interest and fix the habit of right thinking. For right thinking is the great secret that will bring you great benefits. You are to receive the legacy of health and happiness, and I am co-administrator in the distribution of the legacy. There are 3 clauses or conditions as legatee which you must observe and agree to before you can receive your estate. I am sure the magnitude of the benefits you are to receive will cause you to play the game fairly and in proper form. First, each night after you have undressed and prepared to retire alone in your room, free from disturbance, sit down in an easy, comfortable chair. Relax your mind and body while in absolute silence for 5 or 10 minutes you prepare yourself to receive the suggestions. Remain until all is quiet, very, very quiet. Second, now read 1 or 2 chapters of this book carefully, slowly, earnestly, and sincerely. Get the matter you are reading in your mind and nothing else. Fasten the suggestions and helpful thoughts on your brain as you lay your head on your pillow. Go to sleep with these thoughts burned in. Third, in the morning, finish your toilet, drink 2 or 3 glasses of warm, not hot water, then reread the chapter of the night before. After breakfast, go forth to your duties and problems of the day with faith that soon you are to have strength and willpower to brush aside the things which worry, fret, and distress you. In 1896, I wrote this motto: be pleasant every morning until 10 o'clock. The rest of the day will take care of itself. And it was this thought that set me thinking on the power of suggestion. This little motto of mine is on every book I write, and it has been copied in all parts of this great round world of ours. It is easy to remember, it is very helpful, and I want you to think it or say it to yourself every morning when you arise. I make this request very urgent, for the reward you will get from the practicing of the suggestion will be very great. Now then, you have the form in the manner of reading the chapters, and just as sure as you live you are going to gain each minute from now on if you play the game on the square. I ask you to have faith now. Later on you will need no urging. With this faith you must have patience. You will upset the purpose, destroy the opportunity to get benefits, if you read all this book in 2 or 3 sittings. Faith, sincerity, patience, these are the 3 things to keep in your mind until we get well along the road. Then confidence and clearness of vision will come to you as you rise in strength and progress. Until that time, follow me, for I know the trail, and you must accept my ways and have confidence in my plans until we get through the wilderness and strike the main road, where the path is clear and you can go it alone. In other words, do not dispute or correct the guide when you are in a strange country. Maybe you really can cut a better trail or find a shorter road later on when you are familiar with the country. But as long as you are a tenderfoot in new territory, trust to the guide and follow him on the trail which he says leads to health, happiness, and pep. You have tried your own trails. You have hoped, wished for, and sought pep, but you didn't get it. Your trails were wrong. They came back to the starting point. You are after strength, peace, poise. You want pep. You wish to be emancipated and freed from the blue devils and holdbacks. You will have your wish if you follow with faith, sincerity, and patience. I know you may have tried to get courage and strength out of a pill box or medicine bottle. You may have taken drugs, dope, tonics, culture courses, and tried systems. You may have read heavy books on mental training. You may have tried many fads, fancies, and treatments. And because you didn't get pep, you may doubt these very promises you are now reading. The man who wrote, "If at first you don't succeed, try again," might have strengthened the suggestion by adding, "But don't try the same plan. Other plans have failed. Try pep." You will listen to cold reason, I am sure. Our plan has no apparatus, isms, freak beliefs, and no drugs. You can't lose. You may win. If you do not realize your object, it hasn't cost you anything. If you get what you are after, you will have been well repaid. There you are. You can't lose. You may win. Are you with us? This is not a literary effort or a technical book. It is far from classic. It is homely English that tells its message in sure language, if not beautiful language. But it is as sincere, as honest, as truthful as the most sacred honor and profoundest appreciation of responsibility can make it. I want to help my fellow men. There is no better purpose, no greater ambition I know of. Doing something for somebody is the quickest way I know to plant, raise, and harvest a crop of happiness. To help you is good, and to know that this help you get will cause you to help others is much better. You see, there are ambitions higher than crowns and rewards greater than dollars. Every man or woman who reads this book and receives help from the reading is raising the world's average just so much, and to be a factor in such an uplift is reward plus. Now that we understand each other, let us square away and go to it. Chapter 3. As I will explain particularly later on, the willpower controls the mind masters the nerves boss the muscles drive the organs, and the whole human machine goes along merrily as nature intended it to. But when the clouds keep the sunshine out of the thinking department, and when the physical habits hamper the digestion or the functions of any of the organs, then we have congestion. And the good old doctors tell us that sickness or disease is the result of congestion. So it is that congestion of the mind, like sand in the gearbox, prevents the smooth rhythm of nature's forces, and we suffer from results caused by improper working of our God-given powers, mental and physical. It's a science worthwhile that tells us how to think, how to act, and how to live, so that we shall have happiness, strength, and efficiency. The big books in the library deal on the science of life and living, of thought and thinking. They emphasize the word efficiency, but our little everyday standby word, PEP, seems to carry a meaning that better answers my purpose. PEP, I want you to understand, is efficiency plus peace and poise. Science takes certain truths as a basis, and with a delicate probe of theory searches the unknown. Finally, experience and truth and results touched by theory prove the hypothesis to be true or false. If man had always kept within the realm of the known, the story of the stars, the present perfection in fruit raising, and the great inventions of today would be unknown. Theory paves the way to truth. It is a fine adjunct to experiment. But so much truth has been found in the study of mind and body efficiency, and life is so short that we in this book will content ourselves with applying the truth for our own benefit. We will leave the theories to our highbrow brothers in the psychological laboratories of the great colleges, where with an atmosphere of great dignity and with silver whiskers to add to that dignity, these great men may theorize and write for the masters, exploiting their theories and spreading hypotheses. And all speed to them. While they talk to the masters about theory, we will talk to the masses about truth. So we each have our place, and each have our field. We are after the whip-handle end of things, that we may control our acts, thoughts, destinies, and be masters instead of slaves. We are acute in our unrest and worries. The original man-animal had no worry, for he had no thinking brains. Civilization and convention have brought about an almost universal tendency to worry, and some new system of training, some new operations of commerce, some new ideals of life will have to be established. Worry weakens willpower, saps nerve power, unsteadies thought power, dissipates concentration, and causes a man to lose his pep. We are going to have many experiences with worry, and we are going to follow rules, suggestions, and methods which will give us grit and grip, which you see is still another way to spell pep. Whether the mind or body suffers first, both finally suffer when worry is present, because there is an inseparable affinity between mind and body. Disease is the effect of a cause. Remove the cause, and the effect disappears. The cause of most diseases is traced to wrong thought or imagination. We will try to get at some of these causes with simple bread-and-butter truths, rather than with a lot of technical scientific frosted cake. Without many whys, we will get busy with worry and recognize it as a great enemy which we shall not be able to kill. This Goliath cannot be laid low with a pebble like that David of old shot from his sling, but we can tie him down and place him where he can't hurt us. Worry isn't a real thing. It's an imaginary demon which looks real if we are scared. Worry is an ogre, appalling influence. Worry is the disease of the age. Worry is a dragon, a stink pot, a false face that scares people who are weak. Courage, faith, and pep are the armor, shield, and sword that makes the strong man invincible to this great make-believe, born in darkness and existing in imagination. Gird on your armor, then. Stand forth and say, I am not afraid. Even as you take this step, worry starts to back into its cave of darkness.